Hello there, my creatures from the twisting and nethery void. Welcome back. I am Thorkers of the Cursed, and we are playing through Dark Souls 1. And now that we're finally out of that cinematic gluttony spell that we were in the first part, let's get into some raw gameplay. Because we all know we want raw gameplay, we don't want cinematics. Now, one of the things I'm going to be skipping through in this video is the secret areas in the start of the Undead Burg. I'll show you all where they are, and believe me, you want to go through these areas because they give you some throwing knives, some crossbows, so, you know, necessary for other parts of the game. So definitely a place you want to check out. And by the end of this episode, I want to have acquired the Drake Sword. And the first secret area we're visiting is this one, which has a lot of useful items for starting out. The Morning Star, the Talisman, some Homeward Bones, some cracked red eye orbs, and whatever's in this last chest. Oh yes, Lloyd's Talismans, which are really good for taking out pretty much all the mimics in the game, if you aren't well equipped like I am now. So be careful when taking this path, because you will start down the path to the catacombs, and the skeletons are always way too high level for you, no matter who you are, or how good you are, unless you're in New Game Plus, and then, yeah, I guess you could take them on. And after I beat the Undead Burg and Blighttown, I believe I'm going to be going through the catacombs to go find Pinwheel. Any of you who have beaten Pinwheel know that he drops the Rite of Kindling, something that's really, really good. It allows you to take up to 20 Estus if you sacrifice 4 humanity at a bonfire. But for now, we're just going to worry about getting the Drake Sword and beating the Taurus Demon for this episode. Come on, boy. And I did look up some tips on how to play Sorcerers, and Sorcerers are very dodge heavy, and they're very dexterity based rather than strength based. It's better to go that way so that you get faster spellcasts through dexterity. Wish the game would tell you that, but whatever, it's Dark Souls. They don't need to tell me this. Also, one of the things I wanted to do for this playthrough is get good at dodging, because on all my other characters that I've played, such as the PS3 version and the PC version on this, I always tried to play a strength or pyromancy strength character, while focusing mainly on shields and just taking damage rather than avoiding it. So I'm going to have to get good at dodging, because sorcerers are just awful at using shields, because that means you're going to have to build strength. And since I don't like using anything that's not 100% fizz dam reduction shields, I'm going to get pretty damn good at dodging now, and two-handing a weapon. Oh, and while I am two-handing weapons, I might as well have my catalyst in my other hand. Shouldn't make sense. Now, one of the early game tips for Dark Souls is get the Drake Sword, because the Drake Sword is hilariously overpowered. I think it's a 200 base damage sword, but it has no scaling, so it's really good for early game, but it's horrible for the late and, hell, even the mid game, it's awful. Because it means you're not getting a weapon that's scaling with damage, and you're always going to find better weapons with scaling damage. But if you get the Drake Sword, the Belfry Gargoyles are nothing, because that's one of the biggest tips to defeating them, and... what else? And the Drake Sword just one-hits all the enemies in the Undead Burg, as well as, well, even in Blighttown it, like, two-hits some of the stronger enemies. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we're coming up to our first shortcut, and I'll remember to cut it sometime around here. But first, let's get rid of these undead bastards. Oh, wow. Now, see, in all my playthroughs, I've never been able to pull that guy. Huh. The RNG is ridiculous. And some firebombs. Huh, I might be doing a little bit better for this game. Now, one of the first shortcuts is just over here. You destroy all the barrels by either rolling into them, and you literally just fall down. You grab a large soul of lost undead. Yay, more souls. Then always run through here, because there's this guy, and he loves to sneak up on me. He loves to ruin my early playthroughs and steal all of my souls. But anyway. And this area has a lot of goodies. And I believe it's just the crossbow in this area. That, or it's the throwing knives and a few firebombs. But anyway. Well, I just realized that route was a little bit shitty. So if you do go down that route, and honestly I'd risk it anyway, because what it's got down there is 1 rubbish, which is completely useless, and 1 humanity. And you're going to need that humanity in the long run, especially if you can't get past certain bosses like Ornstein and Smoke, because yeah, you want humanity to keep getting your followers for Ornstein and Smoke, because they're a difficult boss fight. They do live up to their reputation, though not as much as some people believe it to be. But anyway, let's continue forward and get to this first bonfire. Also, one of the things I will not be doing in this is parrying, because I am awful at parrying. And I don't believe it's worth wielding a shield for it. Because parrying is incredibly difficult for me, because I try to do it, and if I screw it up, I'm going to take 1 hit, maybe 2, and hell, maybe 3, and maybe even die from it if I'm being too reckless. And I don't like that aspect of it. I don't like being reckless to the point of taking damage. And speaking of that, I'd like to give a shout out to another YouTube creator, a man called Demodcracy. And it's spelled Demodcracy. Demodcracy is a really good Dark Souls YouTuber, and he creates a lot of lists for best Dark Souls bosses, best Bloodborne bosses, hardest areas, hardest bosses. And hell, his, ranking of all the bosses in the From Software game series is ridiculous, and I loved watching it back then, and hell, I still watch it even to today. And they're really good. They give lots of lore hints and tips about how to defeat these bosses, and it's really good if you're any sort of fan of the Dark Souls community, so I recommend checking him out. But anyway, let's continue, and hopefully this guy will turn around and let me stab him in the butt. Because the ultimate Dark Souls rule, does your enemy have an anus? If they do, shove your sword up it. If they don't, create one. God. One of the things I hate about early Dark Souls games is that they have a lot of these enemies. Enemies who are not vulnerable until you attack them and force them to attack. Because there's nothing you can do in that situation. Like I was doing, I was just walking around him and he wasn't doing anything. Oh, and welcome to the next secret path, or secret in massive air quotes. It's not very secret, it's just I wasn't paying attention to my first few runs, and I didn't notice this area entirely. Anyway, we're going to come back to this guy, and we're going to go buy our light bow, I believe. And we're back, and we're here to buy the short bow of this creepy guy. Guy. He does tell you a lot of important lore information about this area, about how there's a demon up above and down below, the Kappa and the Taurus Demon. And here is my first reason for wanting the Master Key. It's not 1,000 souls I need to spend on the Resonance Key to get the Lightning Resin. Which is very annoying, and I'd rather take it, because you can open up a lot of areas very early on. For example, you can actually open up Blighttown as the first area you go to with the Master Key. But let's focus on taking on the Drake. So you want to buy the short bow, and you want to buy about, not that many. I usually buy about 45 arrows, because it takes 20 to 25 to take him down. And I want some extra arrows for... Yes, thank you kindly, sir. And I want to get those extra arrows, because they're really good for enemy... what's the word I'm looking for? You can draw enemies closer to your position using arrows, which is very handy in Sen's Fortress, which is laden with traps, and sometimes you can get them to spring their traps. And the first bonfire. Hooray, hoping, etc. Let's rest here, and you do not want to level up. Don't level up initially, and just try to keep all your souls, and try to play really cautiously and really carefully. Because once you get the Drake Sword, most classes, except for the Hunters, I believe, the Hunters or the Bandits, can't wield it straight away. You have to wait until you've gotten some souls from the Taurus Demon, and you grab the Drake Sword and you find out what its equipment requirements are. Because you don't want to get most of the way through this area, have spent all your souls at the Taurus Demon, and you're not able to wield the most overpowered sword in the game. Well, the early game it is. And on my little runs there through the secret areas, I required my short sword, and get a short sword as fast as possible on any character ever. Unless it's a strength-based character, then get the battle axe. Because the short sword's just a really good early game weapon if you're not getting the Drake Sword, and especially for sorcerers, considering they start out with a goddamn dagger. It's just not worth it. Ugh, that was painful. Don't ever start out with a dagger. Oh no, fire hurt. Simple commentary, people. Simple man. Also, one of the tips for playing on the PC version, try not to play on the PC version, but then again, considering the console generations today, you're gonna have to play on the PC version. But if you do get the PC version, spend the extra $35 or maybe $20 if you got it for cheaper, and buy a gamepad, because it is just... Dark Souls is awful if you do not have a gamepad. It's a nightmare. I'm amazed that I got to Anor Londo only using the keyboard and mouse. It was scary. That is the one thing I'm proud of. And anyway, and Dark Souls 1 was a horrible port as well, because you have to download Dark Souls Fix for the PC, because it's just... There's so many things broken with this game on PC. It's stupid beyond belief. So, I'm hopefully going to be able to find the forum thread that I read up to get Dark Souls Fix and all the instructions on how to improve the game. Because hell, even once you get a gamepad, you see the icons like A to climb, Y to toggle. You don't get that. You get that for PC. As in you get, oh, press the W key to cycle through or something like that. And it's just awful. Even I hate it. That's one of the reasons why my first character was finished on the PS3, because I was not playing the PC version, because it just... Oh, I didn't have a gamepad at the time, and I didn't know where Dark Souls Fix was, or hell, even that it existed, so I just ran through it on PS3. And, well, I finished it, and I got good. Oh no, I'm holding a catalyst, not a shield. Ah. The learning curve is real. Oh yeah, one of the things I also hate about some of the enemies in this area, and enemies in general, if you find an enemy who's wielding a spear and a shield, I hate it that they can attack and they're considered to still be blocking without any sort of lowering in defense. They did it in Dark Souls 2 as well, with some enemies just outside the bonfire in that big temple area once you're trying to go fight the pursuer. And they just do it around here, and it's aggravating. It's really annoying. Maybe like reduced poise or something like that, but they don't do that. It's just as efficient to wield a shield and spear as it is to just wield a shield normally. Let's hope I can beat the Taurus Demon, and I'll grab the Drake Sword before we finish recording for today. And also, for all my recordings, if you have any problems, and I did see that I gained my first subscriber. Hello there, sir. And if you do find any problems with the recordings, I am using a new recording system, and I did get a new microphone. Or a better microphone is the better way to say it. So if you do have any comments on how the, recording's going, then please leave them down in the comments, and I'll be sure to address them in the next video. And I'll hopefully be able to increase my recording potential from today onwards. Because I was only able to record that first game because I was just setting up so much stuff, and it was already late at night, and I was trying not to wake any of my roommates, and it's awful. Also, one of the reasons to play a sorcerer or caster early on in the game, you get to face this guy, and you get to make him a chump. Except for me, I'm getting made his chump. Hit me, I want to heal. Ah. Oh no, where am I? Oh crap. This is not good. Oh no. Ice Beerage. Ice Beerage. Oh, it's not working. Ice Beerage is not effective. I also cannot see him. What the shit is this? First death. Yay. Welcome to Dark Souls. And we're back here trying to fight this Dark Knight guy. And also, any of you who are wondering why I don't play this with a keyboard and mouse on Dark Souls is... If you see me stopping and starting between these cuts, and you see that weird way the camera's shaking downwards very quickly and very erratically, yeah, that's me just trying to move my mouse so I can stop recording. It's atrocious. But anyway, oh god, this is not what I had planned. Oh no. Just want that ring. It's better than nothing, you idiot. Keep firing soul arrows. If in doubt, just run away from this guy. Oh god, this is awful. And welcome back. Holy shit, that took too long. But anyway, I defeated that little Dark Knight I was having, well, I'm gonna be fair. I had too much trouble with that man. And as I was saying, sorcery usually does help defeat him, but wow, I just need to get good. But anyway, after this we'll be trying to defeat the Taurus Demon, and hopefully there is enough time for me to get that Drake Sword. And yes, that is the reason why I'm down all of my soul arrows and 2 of my Estus. And I did end up kindling that bonfire, and then dying, and then losing my souls. And being really sad. Also, another reason for the Master Key, that leads to a secret passage to Darkroot Garden, a later area in the game, but be warned, it does have Havel in there, and Havel does like to kick your ass, especially if you're a low-level player. Here we are, the first boss, but where is he? Maybe I'll just run forward and go to that fog gate, and maybe I'll just pass through it. No. And this is where the fact that Dark Souls is not hard, it's just a game of patience. You've got to think, why would they want me to go all the way down there? It's because these guys are up here. Because these guys will shoot you if you try to activate the boss, or just when you're fighting the boss plane. Why do they give me so much trouble? It would be so much easier if I had a shield. That was one of the facts for the Taurus Demon, one of the best tips, don't shield ever. Just dual wield your weapon, lightning resin the shit out of it, and just go ham. Go complete ham on the dude. Also, side note, why do I have to stay still and just press B or circle to descend ladders? It's a bit dumb. It's not how it works. Thank God they changed it in the later games, but still, it's awful. And second best tip for fighting the Taurus Demon, trigger him, get him to jump down like a badass, walk up the ladder and, you know, descending attack him. It's just, it taught you it in the Demon, so why would you not use it here in the Asylum Demon, that is. You'd be working on lightning resin, hope to God he doesn't jump up, jump down, and not make it because I took too long. Yeah, this is just going perfectly. This is going perfectly. Just planned. Wow, this guy, why? Why is he kicking my ass? Why am I dead? To say that I'm doing poorly right now is a dramatic understatement. Also, update from the last cut, I got a long sword. It's pretty much a short sword, but with 10 strength and 10 dex scaling and some more base damage, so not much different, but it's better damage, so, you know, why not? You okay there, dude? I'm right behind you. I'm killing you, buddy. Hope you're happy with that. I'm down to 2 gold pine resin, yay, because I just had to die in that last bit. But I do have my souls back, and I do have my soul arrow back. So, and hopefully I will land this vertical attack, and I'm just going to go screw it with the pine resin right now. Because I need it for another boss down the line. I know he's somewhere. I know I want to keep my pine resin for that. Finally! Stupid son of a bitch! I'm going to go run the fuck away. Fire soul arrows at him. Ha ha ha. This is very easy now. And then he staggers. Why does this early game boss stagger? It's ridiculous. The dude's already pathetically easy. Also, don't count that last death. Please don't count it, please. See, pathetically easy. It's just any sort of magic user will just wreck him when they use 2/3 to all their spells, especially pyromancers. And if you're not, then you just gold pine resin your weapon, you beat the shit out of him. Oh, I didn't get his great axe. Boo. And it's just not hard. And a hidden item. See? Patient. Attentive. People know you wouldn't put boxes there for no goddamn reason. We're down here by the dragon, by the basement area. And by the Lord himself. The man Solaire. Mr.
Hello.
Jolly Cooperation. But I don't care right now, I just want my white soapstone and for you to be helping the shit out of me. Okay.
The way
Our fates intertwine. Sure they do. Yes, give me the soapstone, please, sir. Thank you.
with the back to standing, of course.
Oh, I missed a line. Oh, I'm an awful person. But anyway, I'll just get back to this bonfire and we're probably going to have to cut the recording for today. But don't worry, in my next video I will be getting that Drake sword and I will have it before I start. Oh god, here he comes. Yeah, a lot of noobs get killed in this area, but who in their right mind is a gamer and thinks that, yeah, there was a dragon here before, there's a lot of oil on the ground, and it's a big bridge. I'm gonna just run straight onto it. Guaranteed nothing bad's gonna happen to that oil, like it catching on fire, but whatever. And we got the bit to the next area, and we got our shortcut back to our first bonfire. So no need to rekindle, thank Christ for that. And I'm not going to be spending my souls, because I don't need to. I'm going to go grab that Drake sword and make sure I have all the right specs. But anyway, thank you for your time today. Wow, my recording's gone a little over time. But thank you for listening. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments on my gameplay and how I need to get good, or any tips for sorcerers, or just anything you want to say about the recording or about anything, just leave a comment down in the box below, and I will see you all in the next episode.